Yeah, but for example, he is found like with some medical conditions. What I mean is, what kind of effect would that have on his case? Will the trial still continue, and he'll just be, not present in the courtroom? Um, what are the rules that what happens?
That's a good question, because if you look at the order of the pretrial chamber, there were two issues that were given to the three-person panel of experts. The first issue, and I'm paraphrasing here, is that to determine whether or not there are any medical conditions that might affect the participation of that person in proceedings such as confirmation of charges. Therefore, medical conditions that might affect. Secondly, whether there are any mitigating factors or any mitigating uh, uh, exercises that can be adopted so as to make that person participate in proceedings. So if you look at these two questions as phrased, it actually gives an avenue for the three-person panel of experts to actually give their recommendations as to how to mitigate those medical conditions so that the person, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, can still participate in the confirmation of charges. So you can see there that the determination of fitness to stand trial is not up to the three-person panel. It's ultimately up to the pre-trial chamber because that's a legal phrase, not a medical phrase.
And attorney, under Rule 118 of the ICC, so the defense can request after 120 days, to review this interim release. But when exactly does that 120-day countdown begin, and what would classify under a changed circumstance when it comes to the medical condition of the president?
Okay, actually, Paulina, the question on Rule 118, it refers to the interim release decision, which is not part of the fitness to stand trial. So my reading of Article 118 is that it's the pretrial chamber which will determine it. So, kailan ba? Sige, let's say ngayon yung 120 days, 4 months. Kailan ba yun? November, December, July, February, March. Maybe there can be a motion or a pleading that can be filed. But it also goes both ways. Kung nakatigan nga yung appeal, this can also be resorted to by the prosecution. So it works both ways. Kasi yun nga, there's a need to determine de novo, as of the moment, yung with respect to interim release. So this is just a checking mechanism on the part of the pretrial chamber. But as to fitness to stand trial, Rule 118 does not deal with fitness to stand trial.
Sir, let me see if I got this right. Are you saying then that even if Duterte is found to be unfit to stand trial, that's not necessarily going to result in his release? Because the principle of de novo, at this particular time, it could change tomorrow or the day after, and so on the line. I asked it because I also understand that there were some cases, I don't know if it's the ICC or the other tribunals that are international, also based in The Hague, where some accused were found to be unfit to stand for trial, but they remain in detention. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka lang maaring litisin, pero hindi ka rin pwedeng basta-basta pakawalan.
I think that was the situation in one of the ad hoc tribunals. Kasi
Yes, sir.
remember, this is an international tribunal. Yung ad hoc tribunal, I don't, can't remember if it's ICTY or ICTR. Pero kung i-release kasi, it should be released to a state who's willing to accept that person. Kung wala pa pong person who's willing to accept, wala pa pong state who's willing to accept that person, so hindi po ma-release yung person na yun. Kaya doon po sa context na yan, pumirmi pa po siya doon sa detention center ng ad hoc tribunal na yan. Now, with respect to the ICC, it has all the facilities available in the world, the best in the world. So actually, it should not be a problem. And also, I'd like to also add that the determination by the expert panel, it's very limited. That's why, in fact, I really also expect na there will be a confirmation of charges based on that very limited, very precise formulation of the issues.
Well, I
Yes.
wanted to clarify. Quickly.
Sorry,
Sige,
follow
go
up on
ahead,
that.
go ahead.
Sir, but can I rephrase lang that question? If you're found to be unfit to stand trial, does that automatically mean that you need to be released or not necessarily?
Not necessarily, because that person has to be accepted by a state who's willing to accept him or her. Oo, so hindi siya automatic in my legal opinion. Oo, kasi yun nga, kailangan pang ma-determine kung sino bang willing mag-accept sa kanya.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, labas sir yung ibang estado. For example, kung kunwari may tatanggap sa kanya na estado, does that mean na pag unfit ka to stand trial at may tatanggap sa'yo, automatic na yon na ikaw ay papakulan?
Or mas malaki yung chances na parang may... Kasi I think what we're trying to get at, attorney, is ano ba yung point ng pagpa-file nito, di ba? Kung wala siyang, kumbaga, kung mas positive na outcome for the defense. Right? Parang ganon. We're looking for that. What kind of positive outcome could they be looking for? Is it a possible release? Is it...
What are they angling for?
Yeah.
Well, that has been intimated from the start that they'll file for a application for interim release. In fact, from the start, the first week ng arrest ni Mr. Duterte, already manifested that we will strongly oppose this. Oo, sinabi ko yan. As to their ultimate motive, I don't really know. But to be frank and to be very candid, all of these pleadings has really resulted to undue delay for this case to go onto confirmation of charges.
Okay.